Hello, Watcher Chat here with your reminder that life is short. Buy the watch. Today we're having a look at the Panerai Luminor Mariner. And pardon my Italian, but I believe this one's called the Specchio Blu. And I've owned this watch for about 2 years now and done a previous review. So please check that out. And so I thought I'd do a bit of a recap. And I've got to say, unfortunately it's been a bit of a non-event because I rarely wear this watch. In fact, I rarely find the occasion for it. Now, for a person who didn't originally like too many dive watches, the dive watches make a large part of my collection now. However, something about this watch just doesn't get a lot of wrist time. Let's get it on the wrist. So you got to be careful with this bracelet because it does need to be done in order, otherwise you'll scratch that logo there. And there's something pretty cool about that bracelet. But I'd say that this size is probably the absolute limit of my 17.5 centimeter wrist. I think it was also a tester watch just to see the limits of what my wrist could handle and the size, and call it a bit of an expensive test case, but that's exactly what it was. But there is something endearing about it, and that is Panerai are copying a lot of heat at the moment. They're not very popular. And I think there's something that screams confidence, or maybe it's called arrogance, of not really caring and just doubling down on what you know. And, you know, this design language of this crown protector, as well as the size of it and the shape of it, almost unrefined nature of this watch. But it is quintessential Panerai. So yeah, this watch basically lives in the watch case because it is a chunky monkey. It's actually quite large. We get close to the dial there. You can see why I like that dial. It's got that sunburst effect, which a lot of my watches actually do have. And I think that could be a reason why I find myself wearing out less, because I've got large watches that wear more comfortably, and I've got a lot of watches with this sort of similar dial arrangement in terms of the sunburst dial, and sort of scratches that itch. I do like this darker blue though, and the sandwich dial effect that this watch has. I can really appreciate all the design language and how it speaks to me. This brushed edges, this brushed case. I think the polish is a bit over the top because it is meant to be a tool watch and bashed around a bit, so having high polished bezel was probably not the best idea, although that does shine and give a good contrast, especially with these polished center links along the bracelet. I actually really like the shape of this bracelet. It's quite unique, and so perhaps that's why the Panerai still appeals to me, just the unique design of it. It's not like any other watch that I've got. However, because it's not for me, it doesn't speak illy of the watch at all. In fact, my brother reached out and I've been speaking to him recently, and he seems really keen on this watch. So I guess this will make a good little addition to his collection. So yeah, not much to say about the Panerai, unfortunately. I tried it. It doesn't work for me, but there's many people that it will work for, and probably some people with bigger wrists than me who can probably carry it off a bit better. One thing that this watch has taught me is how important wearability was to me. I didn't actually realise until this watch. This should have been not 2 years on the wrist, this should have probably been a review of 2 years off the wrist sitting in the watch box. If you like that video, please click like and subscribe, and remember, life's short, buy the watch.